tested. So that because you don't want it to be pulling toxins out of the ocean and then you eat it. Because that's what it does, two things for you. It detoxes you and it gives you minerals.
No, what kind of serving a day?
They say, whoever they is and whatever they say, right? But say 1/4 of a teaspoon of concentrated kelp is enough. But that's just to give you your iodine. And do you know that that's the only way we get iodine in our foods? That's the only way is through kelp or seaweed. Okay? It is not in sea salt. I have a seaweed mixture out there called Sea Shakes, which you can come to my booth and try it. It's really wonderful. It's half salt, half seaweed. And people are always saying to me, oh yes, I have seaweed, I have sea salt all the time. I'm like, no, it's the seaweed that is important, because sea salt does not have iodine in it. Okay, and also, while we're talking about that, sea salt, just plain old sea salt, where did it come from? What do you know about our oceans? You have to make sure that you get sea salt that is from a pristine area that has been tested. But Celtic sea salt is probably fine. Himalayan sea salt. But be sensible about these things. Don't just grab sea salt because it's cheaper than this other sea salt over here and think it's going to be good for you. I use sea salt that's from Portugal in my sea shakes. And I searched all over the place to get what I wanted for the best one. I can't use something damp like Celtic sea salt. So this comes from the southern tip of Portugal, and it's in an area that has been used and cultivated for that for 2,000 years. So I feel pretty good about the Portuguese sea salt. But just be careful and know that our minds are sort of geared to Morton's iodized salt. We don't use it anymore because we use sea salt. Better, certainly better than Morton's washed sodium chloride. You don't want to go there. Because sea salt does have a balance of minerals. It's just that there isn't enough calcium or enough minerals in your body. And by the way, that's what doctors want to tell you, salt is bad for you. What they're talking about is sodium chloride. Actually, there is information online, and the Salt and Grain Society, which is the Celtic Sea Salt, has about actually taking salt because of high blood pressure. One of the reasons we get high blood pressure is because we have too much calcium and it doesn't go in our bones. We take all this calcium, and we still are the nation or the country that has the most osteoporosis. Talk about the imbalance? I don't think so, because what it does is go into the veins of the arteries, and it clogs the arteries. And then we have high blood pressure, and the doctors are still saying, give you calcium. No, balanced minerals, really important. And there are several out in the market, but kelp is really important. You can't even assimilate your food or your vitamins unless you have minerals that are balanced in your body. So that's a really important thing. First is minerals for health. So a good way to start is just finding a way to get kelp into your diet. You can eat it plain, you can chop it up, put it in soups, you can make a tea out of it for morning and put a little rice, if you do rice or carrots and onion, and just make it as a tea or bouillon kind of thing. Tastes fine. Get used to it. New taste. You'll get used to it. And you'll find that you have less cravings for sugar if you are balanced in your minerals. So one of the reasons for having a problem with sugar is because of salt, because you don't have enough salt. And so many people come to me and say, oh, I never eat salt. I'm like, oh gosh, can't even go there. You just cannot even go there. So, unless people are